Hi, my name is Caroline Sarikoff. I'm the Associate Director of the Gold Coast Arts Center, and we are thrilled to be here today to celebrate World Arts Day. And we have brought one of our fantastic dance teachers from the Gold Coast Arts Center, Miss Megan Clancy. Round of applause.
Thank you.
Megan, thanks for coming today. For those of us who have not taken dance lessons or don't consider ourselves very good dancers, tell us a little bit about how you became a dancer and how you became a dance teacher.
I became a dancer, well, I was basically born into it. My mom dances, my dad's danced, my sister danced. So just dancing and performing was just the natural thing that my parents put me in and put me towards.
What type of dance were you doing?
First it was Irish step dancing, and my mom would compete and my sister would compete and win. And I had a godmother who would do the singing competitions. So we started with Irish step dancing, and then we went into jazz, tap, and ballet, and anything. I grew up, my sister's 9 years older than me, so I grew up watching her, and I realized I enjoyed demonstrating, I guess, when I was 8, and my sister was doing, basically leading like a dance team kind of thing in her high school, and she would call me over to demonstrate in front of the juniors and the senior girls, and I thought it was great.
What was that when you realized that you might want to become a dance teacher?
I had more confidence in dance and performing than I ever had in school. So for me to be able to get up there in front of a bunch of girls who were 9, 10 years older than me, and I had the confidence there, that I kind of knew that I enjoyed being in front of everybody. I wasn't scared as I would have been scared to do anything like that in front of them had it been in an academic setting.
Now that's something that's really important. Something that we strongly believe in at the Art Center is all the visual and performing arts that we teach are really important to developing life skills for our students, no matter what age they might be. Those life skills are confidence, critical thinking, working with others. Do you see that with your students at the Art Center when you're working with them?
Oh yeah, definitely. They have the confidence to work together and speak to each other.
And what ages are you working with?
I have 3 to 13, and some of the older kids I've had since they were in kindergarten. And that they can work together, that they can give each other ideas and listen to each other instead of fighting.
Even at age 3?
Not at age 3, but you know, at age 3 and 4 or 5, you could see a lot of the kids will come in and they'll be shy and they'll warm up. And I actually had a parent watch her daughter practice the dance a few weeks ago, and she started to cry because she saw her daughter having so much confidence to be able to, at 4, to be able to just do the dance and not get upset and remember the dance. For 4 or 5, I'm always impressed with that one.
What types of dance do you teach at the Gold Coast Arts Center?
I teach ballet, tap, jazz, hip hop, and musical theater.
Tell us a little bit about musical theater.
The musical I love the musical theater class. I always leave there so happy. I love that you get a group of kids that might not know each other outside of the class, of the musical theater class, and they come together and they grow and they develop and they make friends. You know, lots of times these kids don't have a place in school or friends in school, but they come to the Art Center, they come to class, and they make friends who are like them. And you know, the kids that are afraid to read or sing out loud have no problem doing so because they have the group of kids that are just supporting them. And that's difficult nowadays out there in school, to find a group of kids supporting each other. And you'll definitely find that in our classrooms.
How important do you find the performance aspect of the classes?
Well, I mean, I enjoy having them work towards something, and I think so do they. They take it seriously, that they're going to be performing in front of their parents, and that's their end goal, to show off what they worked for. And I make sure that they understand that what they're trying to show is what they've worked for, what they've been practicing, not just the dance or just the song or just the scene, but what you've worked for, where you started from and where you've gone. Your parents and your teachers want to see the journey and their end result of you being able to perform so well on stage and confidently. And you were saying like life lessons. I think the best life lesson that they comes from performing is that you can fall and make a mistake on stage, and you learn to get up, brush yourself off immediately, and continue to go. Instead of falling apart.
Well, I know we have our Festival of the Arts at the Gold Coast Arts Center coming up in a few weeks, and so you're preparing all your students for our upcoming performance, and I know you're teaching today, so we are really thrilled not only that you came today to share a little bit of your insight into what it's like to be a teacher and how important it is to be a teacher of the arts these days in particular, but we're really lucky to have you at the Arts Center. So thank you so much for celebrating World Arts Day with us, and good luck with your Festival of the Arts.
Thank you very much.
And now we're going to have another one of our star teachers at the Gold Coast Arts Center, Lancelot Theobald.
Hi, I'm Erica Bradley, and you are watching PATV.
Hi, it's Caroline Sarikoff from the Gold Coast Arts Center, and we are back again with one of our amazing dance instructors, Lancelot Theobald, who's been with us for many, many years. Nice. We're thrilled to have him here today. So Lance, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got into dance, because I know it's a little bit of a non-traditional path.
Sure is. Well, I was an athlete, professional athlete, played 2 years in Europe, and I tried out for the New England Patriots before I left, got picked up, came back, tried out for the Jets, and didn't make it. And so I was looking for something that thrilled me the way sports did. And I tried a small business, sporting apparel business, and I was doing all right, but it just didn't give me the fire. And fell into dance through a friend of mine who's my manager now, Richard Willis Jr., who introduced me to actually the theater first. And fell into dance, started studying dance. Went back to school as an adult, taking class at Bernice Johnson's Cultural Arts Center in Queens. Took ballet, jazz, modern, tap, African, and hip hop. And yes, I went back to school, took class with kids 10 and 11 years old. That was the only thing. I got a scholarship, but the only thing was I'd have to take class with kids a lot younger than me. And I had no problem with it. 4 years later, I started auditioning and I started getting roles. I've danced on Broadway at the Metropolitan Opera. I've traveled. I've done a lot of different things. I'm still doing film. I'm doing a project right now called Still Waters. So I fell into it. I love it. And I also fell into teaching. Years ago, Regina Gill, who's of course the executive director of the Gold Coast Arts Center, met me through a friend of mine's and gave me the opportunity to teach, not knowing me, and gave me any access to any classes I wanted to teach. And that was my first teaching gig, and I'm still there until this day.
Now, what did your friends from your sports life think when you said, I'm transitioning to dance?
Well, didn't really tell anybody. You know what I mean? I was doing it for myself. I wasn't doing it for to think what other people thought. Right. I know my parents thought I was crazy. They were like, what? Why would you, you're an adult, why would you go into dance? So they, although were supportive, really didn't understand why I was doing this. But I knew why I was doing this. It was all about me being happy. I wasn't trying to impress football players, my friends, my parents. It was all about myself. And again, though they didn't understand, they supported me. And that's all I needed.
What was the point where you realized that in addition to being a performer and a dancer yourself, that you wanted to also be a teacher?
I fell into it. I was given the opportunity. And when you start seeing the effects that you can have with children of all ages, I've taught them as young as 3, although I don't do it anymore, 3 to 80 years old. And the effects that you can have is just breathtaking. Just one particular student from the Arts Center had autism, and her mother enrolled her in dance and when she was about 9 years old. And she would stay in the class with her, and 2 years later, I started having her teach the other kids in the class how to do different steps. And you can see the confidence that she was starting to have. And then about 4 years in, my company did a show. It's called Hip Hop Fusion, was a company I had. And we did a show for autism and Asperger's at the Children's Museum. And I invited her to come down and perform.
Incredible.
So this is a young lady that had never been out of her mother's eyes, you know, and she was now backstage with a bunch of other dancers, calm, and she got out there and performed. And her mother said the transition and the confidence that she got from that one performance changed her entire life, to the point where she went into high school, into the mainstream. I can't mention her name now because she's now graduated without anybody really knowing she had autism, which is not a bad thing.
Right.
But you know, her mother always asked me, "Do not mention her name, but you could talk about this." But it's just incredible to see this transition, and I've seen it many times, not with kids with Asperger's, but just kids lacking that confidence, and then taking dance and seeing them become confident and better in school, more confident in their daily activities.
While you were saying that, I was watching your posture, and I think that's one of the things when people take dance, they hold themselves in a different way. And not only dance, it's all the performing arts.
Absolutely.
They hold themselves differently because they're thinking of themselves.
Absolutely. You're more conscious.
Yep.
You're more conscious of
confident
how you
in yourself.
And confident, you know.
I know one of the things we all of us who work at the Art Center, whether we're teachers or administrators or staff, we're always focused on is how important the arts was to each of us as we were growing up. And so I was in theater, not dance, but I know exactly what you're talking about. And we walk around the Art Center and we see these effects happening every day with kids walking around. I know you worked a lot in our outreach program in Westbury and Freeport and out in Flushing. How is it, you know, when you're at the Art Center, you're teaching kids who have signed up for a class. When we're doing our arts and education outreach programs, we're hired by the schools or the PTAs, and sometimes these kids are only in these programs because they need some place to go after school. How is that, you know, how difficult, or how do you approach it when there's a kid who says, dance, I'm not taking dance?
Well, let me approach it from a positive standpoint first. The first outreach program that I was a part of was at Manhasset Great Neck EOC. Now, I'm currently doing a project called Stillwater. We just had our first viewing of it 2 weeks ago. Our next one is May 6th. Two of the dancers that work with me are two of the dancers that were kids at the Manhasset EOC. Daryl Beecham and Tori Branch. These are both kids that grew up with me, started dancing with me at the Art Center. Now, I've taken them to Madison Square Garden. These were talented kids. Madison Square Garden, we've been to the Hershey Park, we've been to Radio City Music Hall and performed. But these kids, I went back and I got, the moment I had the opportunity to give them a chance to dance as an adult. So I was just with them 2 weeks ago, so it's funny you should ask that. Now, on the flip side, I've worked in Westbury, and it's difficult. It's extremely difficult because for myself, I want to give to those that really want it. But what happens when you got kids that think dance is not cool? One of the things is you look at me and I say, I know you're not cooler than me. All right? So let's try. So it's difficult. And I think the benefit behind it is it still exposes them to what they can do and what they can be. And sometimes it might not be cool now, but it might help them in the future.
I know we had a program, one of our outreach programs, where one of the dance teachers was teaching ballet, and there were a lot of boys in the class, and it was a small female teacher, and she, you know, they said, we're not, you know, they're pushing her around, they're bigger than her, and she said, all right, listen, here, I'm going to stand here like this. Let's see who can stand longer, who can last longer with their arms up. And of course, a dancer is going to be able to, you know, and she said from that minute on, she got the respect of these kids. Maybe they're not all becoming professional dancers, but like you said, you know, you're opening their eyes to something that that they previously have not been exposed to.
Exactly. I think also what should be said is I've been on two spectrums. I've been a professional athlete and a professional dancer. So I've trained extensively on both sides.
Right.
And this idea that dancers are not athletes is a myth.
Right.
Okay. And I'm here to tell you that dancers are some of the best athletes in the world. I know because of the way I've trained. Just because, you know, we lift weights and it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. Dancers are looking for the exact same things athletes are. Explosive power, balance, agility, flexibility. Athlete, explosive power, balance, agility, flexibility. It's all about how you train. So this idea that dancers are not athletes or, oh, that's for girls or something like that is such a farce.
Right.
It's such a farce.
Is there an age kids that you like to teach, or you know?
At this point, honestly, well, you know, I would say this: anyone who's serious about the arts. I don't want to put an age on it because you have kids. I have a few kids now that are 11, 12 that are serious.
Right.
But that's who at this point in my life, you know, I've done it from 3 to 80.
Right.
But I get more fulfillment out of watching kids who are looking to do this as a profession, or at least looking to be the best that they could possibly be. I've had 3 kids on Broadway. I've had kids come out of here, go on to college, and be in the dance team their first year. These are kids you're making a difference in their life. And, you know, some people enjoy, you know, the younger ages. But I enjoy those kids that are looking to change their life, that I can change and do something for them. You know, that's just me.
Yeah, no, that's
just
fantastic.
Me. Yeah.
Do you find that a lot of adults, like the way that you made that transition, there are a lot of adults who are looking for that kind of transition and starting from scratch? Absolutely,
absolutely. I have a group called Moms in the Hood who are known all over the world. We're getting ready to do the Ellen Show in next week, actually. And they're a group of ladies in their 50s and 60 that break dance and hip hop dance, and they learn to do it as adults. Now these are upward mobile ladies, they're not kids. You know, we call ourselves Moms in the Hood, but hood represents motherhood.
Okay.
But I created this 17 years ago, and it was about people trying something new, experience something different at any age, with one thing in common: the belief in yourself. So I find more and more that adults are looking, especially parents, who dedicate their entire life to their kids. It's fulfilling in one sense.
They need something that's their own.
But they need something for themselves. So I find adults, especially women, to be powerful individuals. And I have so much respect for mothers because of the fact that they're able to put themselves second for their kids, but then make that choice. I need something for myself. That's powerful to me. That's powerful to me.
As a mother who often puts myself second, I definitely applaud you for your dedication in that.
Oh, absolutely.
It's
absolutely.
fantastic.
Yeah.
I know that anyone who's watching now is just waiting for you to get up and dance.
Oh.
So I'm wondering if you wouldn't mind. I know you're not dressed for dancing. You don't have the shoes and everything, but if you wouldn't mind getting up and showing us a little bit of what you do.
I don't have no tap shoes, but I'll do something for you. You know,
that would be great.
An artist never says no.
Right. Exactly.
You know what I mean? So okay.
All right. So we'll.
So you want to take this off, or?
There you go. All right, we got Lancelot Theobald.
And my pants are a little tight too, so excuse me. Ready?
Yay! I know we are thrilled at the Art Center to have Lance as one of our teachers. We're thrilled you came today.
Thank you.
And I think the lesson that everyone on World Arts Day can take away on this World Arts Day is, bring the arts into your lives. Take a class, come to the Art Center, go to your local studio, go to an art exhibit, come to a concert, whatever it is, bring the arts into your life. No matter what age you are, it will make you a happier and more confident and just enrich your life in so many ways. So thanks so much for joining us today. Thanks to Lance, and we hope to see you soon at the Art Center.